Hello and welcome to Sports Fan Entertainment, here to preview Week 2 Tennessee Titans against the Buffalo Bills on Monday Night Football. And oh man, we are going into this football game in a state that I feared. I really didn't think was possible. Well, it was always possible, but I didn't think was worth being considered heavily. That we would lose to the Giants week 1 and then head into this game 0-1 on the verge of 0-2, having to face one of the best teams in the NFL in the Buffalo Bills. And a lot of people would proclaim the best team in the NFL in the Buffalo Bills. We're going to preview this game. I will give you the keys of this game. But before we do that, I want to talk about the last game. I want to do this more and more every week. Talk about last week's game as I rewatch the game, as I watch the film, because we have our initial reactions. But sometimes when you watch the tape, you might feel differently here or there. You might feel differently when it comes to some things. So some things that I want to amend when it came to last game, or I want to stress more or stress less. So Tannehill, I gave him a good grade for that game. I don't think I said in the video, but if I had to grade him after the game, I would have given him, like, let's say an A-. I'm not sure sometimes if it's him or it's just the play call. Because sometimes it really is just the play call to just say, hey, on this critical third down or on this 2nd and 4, let's just check it down to the running back. Let's just do the safe move here. Sometimes that is the case. Sometimes they are designed in that fashion, and sometimes when you're watching it, it very much appears to be in that fashion. But there were plays to be made that I don't think he made. I saw open receivers at times. I saw open running backs at times. I thought he could have made a couple more plays. So I'm going to downgrade it from A- performance to a B+, but it still wasn't bad. I'm not blaming him for the loss. I'm just saying there were plays to be made. But the play calling, wow, it was at times awful for sure. Derrick Henry, he's fine. He's totally fine. I don't know why people are overreacting at all. The only thing that I'll say he didn't do that I'd like to see him do more than he's done historically is bounce outside. But in terms of running in between the tackles, which is basically damn near all he did, he looked great. He actually looked really good. He's continuing to hit linebackers, move them, gain extra yardage. When he does that, he's not looking particularly slow to me at all. Normally, he would have if he had one big run on Sunday's game, just one 60-yarder tacked onto the sideline, no one would be concerned at all. No one would be concerned at all. My only thing is this: we can't expect him to have 2-3 touchdown performances and completely carry us anymore. I'm not sure if he can do that. I think that Derrick Henry is more likely than not gone, but just due to age and circumstance more so than just how he performs. I mean, I think that at a certain point you can't expect him to continue to do that. I think you only have a couple years of doing that. Look at Sean Alexander, look at LaDainian Tomlinson. Adrian Peterson is a very weird use case. Now, he's just a beast. I mean, he ended up having his peak season at like 28 or 29. I have to look at what age he was, but what was that, 2012? So, well, he actually was pretty young then. Actually, I take that back. But still, it's just hard to ask that of a running back, but he still looks fine to me. I'm not worried about Derrick Henry at all. At least 1,200 yards a season, probably 15, 16, 1,700. 2,000? Yeah, I don't know about that. But 15, 16, 1,700, definitely still on the cards for Derrick Henry, but at least 1,200. He looks fine to me if he's healthy. If he's healthy. Wide receiver-wise, I like Treylon Burks. He's getting open. I like Kyle Phillips. He's getting open. These rookie wide receivers are getting open. Now, I heard someone say this. I heard someone say, wow, with these rookie wide receivers, hey, I feel comfortable saying, I like these wide receivers moving forward. We don't need to worry about our wide receivers moving forward. Nope, stop it. Robert Woods, I don't know why people love Robert Woods so much. Now, let's see how he continues to perform for this football team. Only had one catch in Sunday's game. I don't think he's particularly having any sort of burst at all. I don't even know if he's going to be on this team next year. He's $13 million against the cap. I'd cut him. As of this moment, I'd cut him. I'd rather cut that $13 million, give it somewhere else. Jeffrey Simmons' contract extension is coming up. Some other people's contract extensions are coming up. I'd rather give it to them than Robert Woods. Give me another wide receiver in the draft. I'm down. That's my strategy. Even in the first round, that's what I would do. I have no interest in Robert Woods long term. I don't know why people do. I don't know. I mean, if someone could tell me that, I'd love to know. I don't know. Tight end wise, I like Chico Conquo. I want to see more. Defensively, and I didn't stress this enough on Sunday, Rashad Weaver, man, is this guy improving, man. I love what I'm seeing from Rashad Weaver, absolutely. Bud Dupree was having some good pressures as well. Derrick Simmons is one. At this point, he is nearing being the best. Well, maybe not the best. Okay, Aaron Donald still exists. Damn it. But one of the best defensive tackles / ends in the league. Wow. Jeffrey Simmons. Big Jeff Simmons. This guy is so good. Wow. Love what I'm seeing for Jeffrey Simmons. Linebackers are bad. Now they're going to have to improve. And then cornerbacks are basically what I said on Sunday. Like what I saw from Roger McCreary for sure. Want to see more of him. Christian Fulton, not so much. I'm going to have to talk about Christian Fulton. And with that said, let's go ahead and move into the injury report for the Tennessee Titans, where we have a major headline here. Christian Fulton will be out for this game. He was declared out today. He did not practice all week. He will be out with a hamstring injury. Now, Fulton did not play well on Sunday. However, as we all know, as of this moment, he is our best cornerback. Now, Roger McCreary will definitely continue to push that narrative. Good. But for right now, Christian Fulton is our best cornerback, and he will be out on Monday. So I keep easily want to say Sunday. On Monday night. So, this is not good. Now, Roger McCreary, I have faith in. He is a rookie. And is going to be lined up mostly now against Stephon Diggs. Interesting. Caleb Farley, first round pick of last year. Now, I've liked him on tape. I've liked him on the practice field. I've liked him in training camp. He has all the physical tools. He has the mentality. The health has been a concern. He's going to have to get playing time. Get ready to buckle up, and let's see what we have in Caleb Farley. But luckily, the wide receivers on the opposite end, I don't have much faith in. We're going to get into that later. Dontrell Hilliard, 2 touchdowns in the game last week. He will also be out. I don't really care. While he played very well in last week's game, he's not that integral to this team. Let's be honest. He played very well. He's not that integral to this team. So it's not a big deal to me. Kyle Phillips, questionable. Okay, not a great thing. We'll see on this one. I think he'll play. He was limited Friday and Saturday. I think he'll play. We'll see. If he doesn't, then you have to call it more of Treylon Burks, which I'm down for. More Nick Westbrook-Ikhine, who I always told you never have high expectations of, but y'all continue to have faith in him for whatever reason. That's fine. And then outside of that, Jamarco Jones is out. Buffalo Bills. Look at Gabe Davis down there at the very bottom, questionable for the game. Now, hey, this is the one thing where this could give us a big advantage. Gabriel Davis is a very talented wide receiver, a guy that's expected to break out this season, and justifiably so, as he's getting much more of the target share in Buffalo after the departure of Cole Beasley and Emmanuel Sanders. 6 years, their definitive number 2 target for that football team. If he's out, this is huge for us because it puts more pressure on Isaiah McKenzie. It puts more pressure on Jamison Crowder, and I'm afraid about either one of those guys. It puts more pressure on Dawson Knox, their tight end. I'm not that afraid of those guys. We can cover those guys, in my opinion. So if Gabe Davis is out, that'd be great for us. No offense to Gabe Davis, but I hope that you're out. Okay, we move on from that. Dane Jackson, who cares? Ed Oliver's out, good for us. And then doubtful is Tim Settle, doesn't really matter. That's the injury report for the Buffalo Bills. So with that said, let's get into this matchup. Tennessee Titans against the Buffalo Bills, Monday Night Football. All right. So as we know, we have a lot of history with the Buffalo Bills in the past number of seasons, including last season, in which the Titans hosted the Bills on Monday Night Football, a game that I went to. I want to say it was October 18, and the Titans won 34-31, a game that, to be honest, I felt that we kind of got away with. The Bills kind of outplayed us that night, but ultimately we got the victory through true Tennessee Titans grit. Let's call it that. The year before, on Tuesday Night Football, because of COVID-related issues, the Titans beat the Buffalo Bills 42-21. Derrick Henry had 3 touchdowns, and the infamous stiff arm to Josh Norman. 2019, the Tennessee Titans also faced the Buffalo Bills, And in that one, I want to say we lost. Yeah, it should have been a loss to Buffalo in Buffalo. And that was the infamous drop by, wow, what was that wide receiver's name? I can't remember at the time. And actually, we hosted them. Yeah, we hosted them actually in Tennessee, and we lost. That was Josh Allen's one of his earlier years when he still wasn't that good. And that wide receiver, what was his name? Looking it up right now. Oh, was it Adam Humphries or was it someone else? I can't remember who it was, but someone dropped a critical, could have been Adam Humphries, it would have been a touchdown to tie the game in the fourth quarter. Yeah, we know this team, and we know them very well. And we play them very well. The thing about the Buffalo Bills that people, to me, overrate. Look, Josh Allen, at this point, is now a great quarterback. Or at least, let me say, very good. I think to earn the word great, you have to have done something great, which I don't think he's done yet. And by something great, I will say you have to have won an MVP. You have to have won a Super Bowl, a combination of the two. He hasn't done that. He's playing great. I'll say that. He's playing great. And eventually, I think I will say he is great. He's very good. And he's one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. I'll say that. He's one of the best. Is he great yet? No, I'm not going to say he's great because, if he fell off tomorrow and he never plays well again. It was Nick Williams. Thank you in the chat. Nick Williams, who dropped that infamous pass in Tennessee against the Buffalo Bills in 2019 that cost us that game. That was great. So I'm not going to say he's great yet. I don't think he's earned that historical term great. I think great is a historical term. I think greatness is a historical thing. He's playing very well. He's playing great right now, relatively. I'm not going to call him great overall. But we play him well. And when you look at the Buffalo offense, this is the thing about their offense. Stephon Diggs. That is the only weapon that they have that I'm afraid of. Gabe Davis is good. I'm not afraid of Gabe Davis. I'm not afraid of Dawson Knox. He's good. I'm not afraid of him. Devin Singletary, this guy's going to be out of the league in a couple years. He's not a starting running back. Zach Moss, they've been begging him to be a starting running back in this league. He can't even beat Devin Singletary. They drafted James Cook. We'll see how he develops. He's not a threat now, so their running backs are irrelevant. This conglomerate of running backs that they have in Buffalo, they're not impressive at all. And this is why, to me, they're not going to win the Super Bowl. They can't run the football. Not effectively at all. They can get 4 yards a carry, maybe 4.3, 4.4. They can't run the ball consistently. I'm not afraid about Buffalo's running game at all. So forget about Buffalo's running game. It's irrelevant. The wide receivers. Outside of Stephon Diggs, if Gabe Davis doesn't play, we'll see. We'll see if he plays. He's good. Who are we talking about? Isaiah McKenzie? We're talking about Jamison Crowder again? Who else? They don't have anything at wide receiver. Offensive line, it's improved. They got our boy, Roger Saffold. I wish we had him right now, by the way, at left guard, but whatever. His contract for us at the time was too much money. Granted, wow, he'd be an upgrade right now. But let's say, Roger Saffold's there. They have a decent offensive line for sure. If you can limit Stephon Diggs, you can do so much against this Buffalo Bills offense. You can contain them. There's a reason why they lost to the Jacksonville Jaguars last season. 6-3 against the Jaguars. This is not some sort of, the media's hyping it up. This is such a juggernaut. They can't be beat. Look out, Super Bowl champions, no matter what. I've seen this team choke time and time and time again. By the way, it was 9-6 to the Jaguars last year. It wasn't 6-3, 9-6. Still very pathetic, okay? Extremely pathetic. They can score a lot of points in bunches, but their running backs do not scare me at all. They don't scare me at all. The wide receivers outside of Stephon Diggs do not scare me at all. No Cole Beasley, no Emmanuel Sanders. These wide receivers are going to be exposed soon. They're in a weak division where the Dolphins are going to challenge them. And I'm telling them, and I'm telling you, the Dolphins are going to challenge the Bills. The Dolphins might end up being AFC East champions. Do not sleep on this. So, how can we attack this Bills team? How can we have success against this Bills team? Let's get to our tighten up keys of the game for that. Tighten up key number one. Again, You have to contain Stephon Diggs. So this is very unfortunate that Christian Fulton has to be out for this game. Our most proven cover corner right now. Again, I have faith in Roger McCreary. He's been playing very well. He's been playing well in training camp, in the preseason, and in the first game of the season. He's a rookie. Second round, early second round, but second round. Is he ready to go up against one of, let's say, the top 6 or 7 wide receivers in the league? A lot of people say top 5. I won't go that far. I think it's very debatable, but at least top 7. Is he ready for that challenge? I don't know. I don't know. I can't know. I have no idea, no way of knowing as of this moment. I have faith, maybe foolishly, but we will see on this front. So I want to see how Roger McCreary performs in this game for sure. Lined up mostly against Stephon Diggs. He has to be contained. If you contain him, it forces Allen Tack to throw to Dawson Knox more, forces him to throw to Isaiah McKenzie, forces him to throw to Jamison Crowder. Good, okay? That puts less pressure on Caleb Farley, puts less pressure on other cornerbacks as well. Ugo Umadi is going to have to play well in this one. He played well in the last one. Going to have to see more of that. Our quarterbacks are going to be a big question here. Tighten up key number 2 for this game. We have to protect Ryan Tannehill. This Buffalo Bills front can be quite impressive. Von Miller showing up now in Buffalo, the two-time Super Bowl champion. One for the Denver Broncos, one for the LA Rams. He wants to hit the trifecta and win a Super Bowl in Buffalo and really put his step of being one of the best defensive ends / outside linebackers of all time. I don't want him to do that against us. So I'm looking out for Von Miller in this one. They have A.J. Epensa also in that pass rushing front. They also have Gregory Rousseau in that pass rushing front. They can rush the football. And they have a very strong pass rush. You have to look out for the Buffalo Bills pass rush. That's a concern. As Taylor Lewan is playing fine, and he's been playing fine. I don't think he's the Pro Bowler that we thought it was going to be, but he's been playing well. He could get the Pro Bowl this year. I'm not saying that's off the cards, but he's fine. Nicolas Petit-Frere played well, by the way, in week 1 and played very well in the preseason. Is he ready for this sort of, talent against him? We'll see. Again, I liked him coming out of college. I like him now. It's going to be a test for him. Inside, Aaron Brewer, left guard. Is he ready for this? We'll see. Again, that's what I'm talking about. If Roger Stafford was there, I feel more comfortable, but he's not. We have Aaron Brewer, fine, whatever. Jalen Radins, you stink. Get better, please, because I want you to play at left guard. I still have faith in you, but get better, please. Nate Davis playing really well at right guard. I'm fine with him. Ben Jones, he's always pretty much consistent. Can this offensive line protect Tannehill? Can they give Tannehill time? Because the good thing right now, we're facing the Bills without Tre'Davious White, their best cornerback and one of the best cornerbacks in the NFL. We can attack them outside. We have to look to our wide receivers. Last game we did that. We need to do more of that. I don't think let me even backtrack. I don't think we did enough of that in last week's game. Only, what was it? 1 target for Robert Woods. Kyle Phillips had about 10, 6 catches there. Chandler Brooks had 3 and about 4 targets there. We could target them more, and we should, especially against this team with no Tre'Davious White. That's how we should attack the Buffalo Bills off defense, in my opinion. And I know that's regardless of them having this strong pass rush, but at the same time, with no Tre'Davious White, you have to take advantage of that circumstance, in my opinion. Also, obviously, the Derrick Henry run game, get that going because he has been absolutely feasting on that Buffalo Bills defense for the past couple years. So that's something that we have to take into account as well. But when he hits the second level against the Bills, it's a wrap. And then, so tighten up key number 3 is, again, get the wide receivers involved. No Tre'Davious White. Got to get them involved. Kyle Phillips, Traylon Burks, let's continue to develop these guys. Again, one thing that I like moving forward when it comes to this football team for years to come, if we can truly develop these wide receivers, who, by the way, had way better debuts than rookie wide receivers that we had in the past. We saw nothing from Justin Hunter. We saw nothing from, or basically nothing from Kendall Wright. We saw basically nothing from Kenny Britt early. We saw even A.J. Brown wasn't that good until, well into his rookie season. For Traylon Burks to have 55 yards his first game, Kyle Phillips 66, those are very strong starts for Tennessee Titans wide receivers. Again, I'm not sure either one's going to be a number 1 wide receiver, to be honest with you. So I'm still looking down the road and saying, hey, if we could somehow get a number 1 wide receiver, Jordan Addison, Quentin Johnson, Jackson Smith, if he somehow falls, I'm down. I'm down. But for right now, let's continue to develop these guys. They could be number 2 and number 3 long term. Is either one number 1? I don't know. We'll see. I doubt it. Burks has a chance. He has a chance. I doubt it. We'll see. But for right now, continue to develop these guys. Get the wide receivers involved. This is not only going to help us in the short term, but in the long term as well. I want these two to be mainstays when it comes to this Tennessee Titans franchise. It's very sad. When you look at our franchise leaders in receiving yards, you're talking about Derrick Mason, and then you're talking about nobody. Kevin Dyson, Nate Washington was great he's a great Tennessee Titans wide. Are you out of your mind? AJ Brown's up there in the record books. He was only with us for 3 seasons. Corey Davis up there in the record books. Only there for 4 seasons. Our wide receivers stink historically. We're really bad. One of the worst receiving franchises in the NFL. We got to get better at this. Let's develop these young wide receivers in Nick Phillips and in Treylon Burks. Overall, what is my opinion? Will the Tennessee Titans get it done against the Buffalo Bills? My prediction, Tennessee Titans 27, Buffalo Bills 30. I have us taking the L. However, we are 10-point underdogs in this game, which is ridiculous. There is no way, in my opinion, it could happen. Let me not say there's no way. I am betting very strongly against this. We have to cover this game. We show up in games like this. In the Mike Vrabel era, we show up after losses. We show up when people don't expect us to. I remember us going to LA Sunday Night Football against the Rams, a team that I knew, and I was on record for this, was going to win the Super Bowl. We beat them 28-6. My goodness. We get these games done. I don't know why. I don't know how. But it happens. So, I'm looking out for this. It's very possible. I think it's, if I had bigger cojones, I would honestly pick it. I really want to pick it. I really want to. I really want to come on here and pick us to beat the Bills Monday night. In fact, now I'm kind of regretting it. Because I'm hyping myself up. And I'm convincing myself, what a great argument, what a great opening statement and closing statement that I've been making in this legal argument today. Damn, Saul Goodman. Am I going to change my pick live here on Sports Fan Entertainment? I can't go that far. I almost did. But wow, we're going to compete, guys. We're going to compete. I think we're going to take the L. I was asked this question in yesterday's video, my week 2 picks. Does us starting 0-2 completely eliminate us from the playoffs? Does that completely discourage us? I say no. And we'll broach that bridge if we have to come to it. But here's what I'm going to say. Of the teams that I have losing this week, and there's no way I'm going to go 16-0 this week. I mean, come on. We'll see what happens. But the teams that I have losing this week, and even of the teams that beyond that I have losing, that I could conceptually see losing this week and end up being 0-2, the only teams I could see going 0-2 and still making the playoffs that could conceivably lose this week include us, the Raiders, the Cardinals, and that's about it. That's literally it. So I think if we go 0-2, we're going to look around and we're going to say we're by far the best 0-2 team. We're facing the Raiders at home next week, and I still need to figure out what this Raiders team really is. Are they a playoff team? Are they not? The Raiders are always unpredictable for me. God knows I did not have them making the playoffs last year. They went on a run, made the playoffs last year. I don't know how. I don't have them making the playoffs this year. I don't even know what the hell happened last year. They had a negative point differential. Nonsense. But whatever. So I don't know what to expect from the Raiders. It could be 0-3. I doubt it. I assume we'd win at least that one. But I think we'd beat the Raiders. And then after that, that's when we get the ball rolling, and I would not be concerned. I don't think the Colts are very good. I never thought the Colts were very good. They should have lost last week against the Texans. They were down 20-7. They were down most of the game. They should have lost that game. This upcoming week, they're facing the Jaguars in Jacksonville. Now, I picked the Colts to win that game. I already also bet and picked the Colts to cover. News just came out. Michael Pittman is going to be out for that game. They're going to have to throw to Alec Pierce. They're going to have to throw to Paris Campbell. They stink. Alec Pierce, we don't know, he's young. Paris Campbell stinks. The fact that he's still on the roster, the fact that he's still somehow relevant in Indianapolis is nonsense to me. Now I'm very concerned about the Colts going to the Jaguars. But Jonathan Taylor's still a beast. Is he as good as Derrick Henry? I don't know. I don't care. I know people are really involved in that debate and that discussion. I don't care. He's very good. He's great. I also want to say he's great. He's playing great. He's very, 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 very good. Maybe he'll end up being great. He probably looks like he is. He looks fantastic. He definitely is fantastic right now. So maybe he's enough to beat the Jaguars, but we'll see. But then after that, we go to the Colts. That's a must-win game. That's a must-win game at this point. Then we go to Washington. Then we host the Colts. We can sweep the Colts early, get them out of the way. Boom. Out of the way, get out of here. We can go 9-8 this season. We'll be fine and win the AFC South. That's how the AFC South is currently developing. I never had faith in the Colts. Yes, they have this offensive line. Yes, they have a kind of impressive defense. Okay, Matt Ryan isn't very good anymore. And I don't know who told you that he was. You've been lied to, son. The Falcons stole your ass. Okay? I mean, seriously, they just robbed you, son. If Matt Ryan was decent, they would have kept him. They're a poverty franchise right now. You don't think they would have kept Matt Ryan if he was somewhat decent? They shipped him out for a reason. They didn't want him anymore in Atlanta. He's an old man. 37, and he looks 37. This ain't no Aaron Rodgers. This ain't no Tom Brady situation. Matt Ryan going to be out of the league, I think, next year. Or maybe he's going to hold on like a Joe Flacco for some reason, just holding on, same draft class, just holding on, trying to get backup checks. He could do that. Or he could just say, like Phillip Rivers, you know what? I'm out. I don't know why the Colts keep doing this. Why do they keep getting these old quarterbacks on the edge of a cliff, and then they're just going to say, all right, I'm good. See ya. What type of strategy is going on in Indianapolis? They have no long-term strategy at quarterback. It's absurd. So the Colts are not a concern to me. We're going to compete against them this season for the AFC South, but that's it. Unless the Jaguars wake up, which I doubt, because Trevor Lawrence isn't very good right now in the league. In college, great. One of the best college quarterbacks ever. Right now in the NFL, not that good. So if we go 0-2, it'll be fine. I want to preface it. It'll be fine. If we lose in frustrating fashion, I'll come on here and I'll be a little frustrated. And by the way, I will be live after Monday Night Football, of course, for my recap of the game. But I do have us losing this game 30-27, and I almost switched up. Oh, I came so close, but I can't quite switch up right now. I have the Tennessee Titans losing to the Buffalo Bills 27-30. With that said, let's move on to the chat. If you have any comments for me, at me in the chat at SportsFan Entertainment, and I will answer your questions. Always remember that super chats get precedent. All right, we will begin here. Let me change this. With TGI Jeff, who says, at Sports Fan Entertainment, I just got my Ukrainian wife into American football. She loves the Titans. I'm getting her to watch your vids too. Much love. Well, thank you out there for that. I'm not sure if you're in the U.S. or if you're in Ukraine. I assume you're in the U.S. But yeah, that's dope. I always appreciate the support, and the more people you get into football, the better. And by the way, congratulations on that. Because let me tell y'all, man, I don't know, a lot of content creators don't even talk about this, but you know how hard it is to find women that truly know football or are interested in football at all? That is a hard thing to do, man. You know how hard it is? Yeah, look, I'm sitting here trying to watch football all day, all night long, all week long, trying to watch football, trying to create content. Most women, they don't give a damn. They'll be sitting there just kind of watching, sitting next to me, kind of caring, kind of not. I don't know what's going on. What's his name? What's going on? If you get a girl that's into the game, oh, man, that's where it's at. It's hard to find, though. It's not easy to find. Or they'll act like they care, whatever. It's very interesting. It's a very interesting aspect of being a great Being a huge football fan, there are pros and cons to this. All right. With that said, yeah, any other comments? Add me in the chat at Sports Entertainment. Some comments that I want to call out. We have Shine Crawford who says Titans have to win to clean the face from that embarrassing loss versus the Giants. You know, I'm not going to say we have to. I mean, I'd like to. Again, I'm not going to say this is a must win. I'd like to win. I think we have a good chance of winning, but I'm going to say this is a must win. BB15_ says Burks only played 29 snaps. And yes, and for him to get 55 yards, 3 receptions, and 29 snaps is very impressive. And again, this is why, like, long term, I want less snaps for Nick Westbrook-Ikhine. Long term, maybe not right now, but long term. And I want him playing more snaps. And again, this might be a comment in terms of like me saying, I don't know if he's number one. I mean, that's just like, I don't think he has the number one wide receiver skill set or talent. I don't. I think he can be a very good number two, though, in a prolific offense. In a bad offense, sure, he can be a number one. But in terms of like, can he truly be a number one franchise wide receiver? Can he be anything close to what A.J. Brown is and was supposed to be? That's the question that people are always going to ask. Was it worth trading A.J. Brown for Treylon Burks? That's just going to be a discussion, guys. It's going to be a discussion. And as you continue to see A.J. Brown continue to develop and go off in Philadelphia, it's going to be questions raised. I don't think he's ever going to be as good as A.J. Brown. I loved A.J. I told you, when he was my number one wide receiver in that draft class. Numero uno. I loved A.J. Brown more than anything. My God. Maybe not more than anything, but I don't think he's ever going to like live up to that, but we'll see. Jay Woods says, at Sports Fan Entertainment, what year of the Tennessee Titans history does this compare to this year? Ooh, I would say this compares very similar to... I don't think there's a perfect comparison for that. I would say that this is it's a mix of 2011, Matt Hasselbeck at the helm, different circumstances and us having Tanner, who's been there for a while, versus Hasselbeck, who was a free agent signing that year, but very similar to that. It's most similar to that, combined with 2019. So 2011, 2019, because it's still a very similar team to 2019, but 2011 in terms of we had a very significant draft class that year. We had Jarrell Casey coming in. We had Colin McCarthy coming in and performing well. The rookies were very influential that year. We were kind of underrated. People weren't expecting much. Playoff contender-ish. Who won the division that year? Should have been 2011. Yeah, that was the Colts probably by far. It was probably like 12-4 by the Colts that year because that was the year Peyton was still healthy. No. That was the year Peyton was hurt. The Texans won that year. Yeah, that's pathetic. Yeah, the Texans won that year. And I think they were actually quite good that year. But, I'd say 2011 is a good comparison. Where our defense is going to make plays, kind of underrated. Young improving players like a Jeffrey Simmons, rookies that are going to influence. Although, unlike that year, we have rookies offensively that are going to, progress and do things more so than that year was defensive rookies. 2011 is a good comparison, also like 2019 as well. So I think that's about the Titans teams that I would compare this team to. By the way, TGI Jeff says, we were in Ukraine when Russia invaded. We were in a safe area when I got her to the U.S. She legit has been studying the rules when I go to bed. Oh, well, nice. Thank God you got out of there in time. Thank the gods for that. Michael Rosario says, as Sports Fan Entertainment, should we look to free agency for some inside linebackers? Our middle looks soft. No, because right now the inside linebacking market is not great. The only name I can think of, let me look up the list right now just to confirm. The only name I can think of that I would kind of be interested in, inside linebackers? Yeah, actually, let me look at the list because I'm not even sure. Let's see. I thought NFL Trade Rumors had a current list. Do they not have that list anymore? Yeah, okay, here we go. Available free agents list. All right, let's look at the inside linebackers. There's like no names that are coming to the top of my head that I would really be interested in. Okay, he's not inside, although he'd be inside for us. Super Bowl MVP Malcolm Smith. Not because of the Super Bowl MVP, because he's actually been okay in recent years. Darren Bates, who we're familiar with, but he's only okay at best. We know that. He's a backup. He's a complete backup. Alec Ogletree, Anthony Hitchens, Patrick Owasso, Dante Hightower would be interesting. This is the name I was looking at this week because I was going through this list this week. Dante Hightower, I'm not sure what's going on with him. I don't know why he's not signed currently. I think there's a reason for this. He wasn't in training camp for anyone. I'm not sure if it's a character thing. I'm not sure if he's tired of football, if he wants to retire. I would pick up the phone and call Dante Hightower. But I assume there's a reason that teams are not. That's my assumption. It's a good assumption. So we'll see. But I would definitely pick up the phone and call him. Also, Jamie Collins. But I definitely would prioritize that Hightower if anything. Also, Monty Rice, when's he coming back? He's on the PUP list. I think he's supposed to be back this season, so I wouldn't panic. They're not great. Zach Cunningham is cooked, basically. And I'm a Vanderbilt guy, so I should love him, but he's kind of cooked. And then I don't know why you didn't retain Jayon Brown. I don't know. He's so cheap. I don't understand what's going on with Jayon Brown, but I definitely would have re-signed him for like $2.5 million. I don't know what's going on with Jayon Brown. His agent stinks. And his reputation around the league is terrible. Is he just like rude or something? I don't know what's going on with Jayon Brown because he's not bad. I don't know. All right, we move on to Tornado Freaks, who says, as sports fan entertainment, he said, we don't have to worry about the Bills' running game. You forgot about Allen, who also seems to be the rushing leader. Well, he doesn't always seem to be. He can be. I would say he's their rush leader, let's say maybe a third of the season, probably even less than that, like 25%. Probably even less than that. But, okay, yes, he can occasionally be the rushing leader. That's something that we do have to account for. I mean, but like, he's not that prolific. He can run. Okay, I'm not saying he can't run, but how many rushing yards this season does he get? 500 less? So that's why I'm not really concerned about Josh Allen's run ability. It's something you have to consider. He had 50 yards in the last game, which led the team. But historically, let's see. Yeah, I mean, last year he had 763 rushing yards. That's significant. The year before that, 421. Year before that, 510. Year before that, 631. I mean, it's something that you have to consider. I'm not going to say you don't have to not consider it. But I don't think he's like a Lamar Jackson to where you have to completely game plan for it. Just know that you have to look at the run-pass options. You have to look at the option plays and just, take them into account. But we'll see how our inside linebackers deal with that in terms of Zach Cunningham and David Long Jr. and how they respond to Josh Allen in the run game. All right, so with that said, that's going to do it for me here at Sports Fan Entertainment. Tennessee Titans, Buffalo Bills, Monday Night Football. Will the Titans get it done? We will find out this Monday night, Titans and Bills on Monday night. Until next time, this has been Sports Fan Entertainment, and I'm out. See you all later.